Sammie don't got more hits than Pleasure P. Bobby V don't got more hits than Pleasure P. Ray J don't have more hits than Pleasure P. Omarion don't have more hits than Pleasure P. Mario don't have more hits than Pleasure P. And if any one of them want to run it one-on-one at any time, we can do that. Because I'm solidified. You know what I'm saying? I'm still going.
Ay, run it up by the morning. Only one still on it. Only one still on it. Only one still really feel the feel, getting it on. Yeah, yeah. We gotta go. We gotta go. We gotta.
All right. Welcome to the Culture Club Uncensored. I am your host, Osei The Dark Secret, and we are the podcast that amplifies how music influences everything. Now, our guest today, this esteemed brother, is a singer-songwriter, original member of the group Pretty Ricky turned solo artist. His debut album, The Introduction of Marcus Cooper, was released and nominated for a Grammy Award for Best Contemporary R&B Album at the 52nd Annual Grammy Awards. Not only has he graced the spotlight musically, but he has also been doing his thing in the world of reality television, appearing in Bad Girls Club 8, Las Vegas, and Love and Hip Hop Miami. Ladies and gentlemen, we bring you none other than Marcus Pleasure P. Ramon?
Cooper.
Okay. Yeah, we thought we was going to throw some Miami on
Marcus Ramon, yeah, that's something new I'm doing, man.
there. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Welcome,
yeah.
brother. How you doing, man?
I can't complain. How are you?
Yeah, I'm
man?
blessed, brother. Thank you so much for taking the time.
Thanks for having me.
I want to acknowledge something about you, bro. You know, when we linked up, man, you were always very humble. You know what I'm saying? And it was just organic,
Absolutely.
authentic. So it's appreciated, man. What were you listening to on the way over here?
I wasn't listening to nothing, to be honest. Like, I was just listening to traffic.
Okay. What you got on your playlist nowadays?
On my playlist, all my new hits, cause I'm actually mixing and mastering. So, the last song I listened to was a song that I have called "Stay Down," and my boy Marcus out of Philly, just mixed and mastered it, and I actually told him to make a change on the master, and to bring the background vocals up. So he sent me that, and I've been listening to that like nonstop.
All right. Will you draw any inspiration from old school R&B, other genres?
Oh, no, listen. So my inspiration is everyone that came up before me: Keith Sweat, Babyface, New Edition, Usher, R. Kelly. Kevon Edmonds. It's just so many people. I'm Jagged Edge, Drew Hill, Genuine, Player.
Yeah. Player.
I listen to Sizzler.
Just for the record now.
Conscience.
P, you got Caribbean roots.
I do.
You Jamaican.
I do have Caribbean roots. And I lived in Kingston for like 3 years. So shouts out to my brother Don Corleone. And all of my Jamaican, big up all my Jamaican people, that know the vibes,
What was that like?
Living in Kingston. Kingston taught me how to be happy. It taught me how to appreciate what I have, and what you have is what you have, and you just got to be happy with that. You can see somebody that don't have much, but they got their cure room, and they got their fish that they fry, and whatever they doing, they just happy with doing it, and they gonna dance, and you would never see them, like, you would never see that they're struggling because they so happy. And when I went there, I went from living in I want to say a 12,000 square feet mansion to having a downsized to a condo when I was going through my IRS issues back in the day. And at first I was like, it was devastating. And then it's like, well, you came from nothing. So you got a condo overlooking the intercoastal of Miami, and the elevator doors open up. And what are you really mad about? It's just, life is never going to be perfect. So you got to just keep going and going and going. And if it, in business, you got to make sacrifices and things like that. So when you invest into your own project and things like that, there's gonna be setbacks. Everything ain't gonna always be perfect. So it really taught me to adjust with the time and just always be happy with whatever you do.
Yeah.
And understand that you're always gonna come out on top because God always got us.
Always. Did you ever make it to Hope Road?
Man, listen, I made it to every single part. I can drive you around Kingston, Mobay, Negril, and Ochi.
Yeah.
Black River. I can take you St. Elizabeth. I can take you all over Jamaica, Mandeville. I can take you all over, and show you the beautiful different resorts and experiences and just how it's ran there.
Yeah, man. Loving the culture, brother, and knowing that is just a part of the spice that you bring to the game. Now, I just want to jump real quick. I know a couple years ago, the Verzuz. You got into that Verzuz, right?
Yeah.
So you and Sammie against Ray J and Bobby V.
Yeah.
Talk about that, man.
Well, the crazy thing out of that is we're all friends, by the way. So when you seen the Verzuz and us going at it, it's kind of like playing sports, basketball, football. We talk crap to one another. Mm-hmm. And during it was pretty much just that, and just showing them a different side of R&B because everybody think, R&B guys are soft and they supposed to be this kind of way, but we're not. Like who told you that we gotta wear suits and we gotta be, this kind of way? Like like some of us, we all from the same place. We all from the streets, right? Mm-hmm. And some people can rap, some people can sing, some people can play basketball, some people can play football. But we all have the same life experiences. So just because I can sing don't necessarily make me, any more or less than anybody for what they do. You know what I'm saying? If you a stand-up guy, you a stand-up guy. So when it comes to morals and values and things like that, and what you take from the game, that's what really make you. And that's what we kind of like showed the world, like, and it was such an uproar from the people that were controlled, like before us, and not dissing nobody, but they expected, it's supposed to be, but that's what y'all were there for. But this is what we've been going through, and this is our vision of how our verses should be.
Yeah,
it's just that, it's that, how can is that competitive? Like we competing, you know what I'm saying? And then it wasn't even a fair thing for everybody because Mario obviously he got his sound check and he had his sound guy and things like that, and we never had a sound check, and people saying, but at the end of the day, I feel like my hits really, really resonated there. And can't none of those guys on that stage touch me when it comes to the hits that I have. We all family, but when it comes to competitiveness, I'm like LeBron. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to have that kind of energy, and that's just what it is. Sammie don't got more hits than Pleasure P. Bobby V don't got more hits than Pleasure P. Ray J don't have more hits than Pleasure P. Omarion don't have more hits than Pleasure P. Mario don't have more hits than Pleasure P. And if any one of them want to run it one-on-one at any time, we can do that because I'm solidified. You know what I'm saying? I'm still going. And not to sound full of myself or anything like that, but I'm just a player in the game. You know what I'm saying? I'm like Kobe or one of them. Like I just really believe in myself, as any of them should. They should feel like they got more hits than me too, even though they don't.
P, before we get into R.S.V.P, I thought that Verzuz was it was entertaining because of the personality that I saw.
Yeah,
I think that was one
Shouts
where
out
Ray
to
J. Yeah, he
Ray
lost
J.
his voice or something.
Oh my God! Listen, Ray J. Ray J. It's like it's two people that you want to be around in this industry. It's Ray J and it's Tank. Those two guys are gonna make you laugh. When you feeling down, they just, I don't know, the energy is just incredible. Shouts out to Ray J. He got his new network called the Tronics Network. Make sure y'all tune in. Actually, we doing a few shows on there as well. But man, my brother worked so hard on, you know, putting his network together when people told him not to spend his own money and it can't be done. And, you know, the thing with everything he got going on, you know, I just want to say shout out to Ray J for believing in yourself and sticking to what it was. We had to put R.S.V.P on pause, you know, while he was doing what he's doing, but it benefits everybody now. So shouts out to the Tronics Network too.
So that's forthcoming.
Yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
And shouts out to Sammie and Bobby V too.
Absolutely.
My brothers and everybody else that I shouted out. Y'all know I love y'all, but it's competition.
It's
If we gotta
competition.
talk about it, let's talk about it. Let's go hit for hit.
Tell me a little bit about, you know what I'm saying, the original story about, you know, Pretty Ricky getting started, man.
Well, I'm from a musical family. My mother, she was in a band, and so was my father, and they were in a band called the Rappers back in the day. So, where I'm from, Miami, Carver Ranches, Hollywood, Broward County, you know, everything is intertwined. Carroll City, everything is intertwined, and you have these groups. Everybody had groups back in the day, and everybody could play instruments and stuff like that. So my parents, they met in groups, and my dad was in a group called Silver Platinum, and Silver Platinum was signed to Capitol Record at a young age, and Michael Sterling was in the group with my dad, and he's like an uncle to me now, to this day. If I need him for anything, I could always call him. So shouts out to Uncle Michael Sterling and my dad. But Michael Sterling wrote songs like Lovers and Friends that Usher and Little John remade. He wrote Thug Holiday. Like he had a song called Holiday, so Trick Daddy sampled his song. And there was just so many songs sampled from Michael Sterling that's like, oh my God. But so I pretty much come up from around a musical family, and I didn't realize that I can sing until I was 9 years old. So 9 years old, I'm going to school every Monday and Thursday. There were rehearsals in my living room because my mom would always rehearse with her band, Eloquence Band, and they would have me perform at festivals and stuff later on. But I started singing immature, I Will Never Lie, in the shower. And my Uncle Chuck heard me singing, and he put me in a, my Uncle Chuck, he discovered me. He was actually a member in my mother's band, but he discovered me, and he said, sing it again. And I sing it, and they put me in a talent show at Dixie Park in Hollandale, Florida, and I won first place. Benji Brown, the comedian, he was actually the comedian at that concert as well, and I won first place in that. And ever since, I never looked back.
What was that moment like, man? Actually winning.
I was 9 years old, so it was just like, you practice for something, and the outcome for it. I don't know, for some reason, when it comes to winning for me, I take it differently because I'm so caught in the moment. It's like I don't see it as a win. I'm always ready for the next thing. And that's how I treated my entire career. Like, okay, we accomplished this, but what's next? So it's not a win for me until, I don't know, I guess I always have something to live for. So I'm never going to be satisfied. And that's what keeps me hungry, and that's what keeps me going, actually.
Yeah. I know that a couple of members of Pretty Ricky were related, right?
Yes.
Diamond and Spectacular.
Yes.
Okay.
And Slickum too. They grew up together. So how I met their father is I started shopping my demo. I recorded a song called Shorty Would You Be Mine? And I recorded a song called Feel the Rush, which I recorded when I was incarcerated in the juvenile detention center. Juvenile prison pretty much. And I stayed there for like 2 years, and I wrote those songs. My boy Gregory Curtis, we wrote those songs together, and we said when we get out, whichever one of us make it first, we're gonna figure it out. So I got out, and I had jobs, man. I like buff floors and wax floors at the hospital. Um, and growing up where I'm from, like, it's easy to get in trouble, but trouble is hard to get out of. So just being around the wrong crowd, can get you in trouble. But if you don't take care of your responsibilities while being in trouble, like going to the after school program or this and this and that, you know, that's a violation of your probation. So as you get older and older and older, and you don't follow those rules, they kind of penalize you for it, and it can cost you some time. So I was one of the kids that went through that, and I came out and changed my life. And you know, I'm actually an example of I'm actually a role model, somebody that you can look up to and say he's been through this and been through that. But not to get off subject or anything, but after I got out, I had odd jobs and went back to school and things like that. And I never stopped doing music. I took my checks and I invested in my career. So I would pay for my studio time and things like that. And I recorded Shorty Would You Be Mine when I got out. I recorded Feel the Rush and Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. So I'm shopping me and my friend Rob Lowe, rest in peace, he's a DJ. But in high school, we just would give my songs out to all the girls in school, and we'll burn our CDs and things like that. And it came to a point to where, okay, it's time to really get out there. So I would shop my records to Slip and Slide and this one and that one. And their father was a guy named Blue Star, and he had his own label. And I met him once with a guy, like a childhood friend. Well, no, like not a childhood friend, but he's more like he was like an uncle, but not my uncle. Like just a guy that my mom used to work with, and we looked up to him like a godfather. And he introduced me to him at one point, but nothing happened at that meeting. So then time goes by. Pretty much I had my son at 19. And around the time that I had my son, I ran into him at a talent show, shopping my record, and he said, "Come to the studio." During this time, I'm selling drugs, like I'm still in the streets and stuff. And one of my best friends, Maintain, he he was a part of my success. We would make songs. He's actually on the original version of Feel the Rush, but we would sell dope and stuff like that. Coming up, and the day that I went to record, the day that I went to Blue's house, that's the same day that he got locked up, and I would have probably been with him, because one of our friends snitched on him, and it was crazy. But he went to sell dope, and we know when you selling dope, it's like when that fiend hit the, when they hit that rock one time, they coming back 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and they gonna give you whatever. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard to leave, because if you leave too long, you're gonna miss your money. So you gotta stay. You gotta stay there. Like, you know what I mean? You gotta stay on that block. So I took the time, like, you know what? I ain't care about the money, because most guys in that game, you're addicted to the money. So I went out west. Out west is like the suburbs, the Southwest ranches and the mansions. So I went out there and went to Blue Star's crib, and he had his big crib, and Spectacular and Baby, they lived in his big crib. And I went there, and the first day, or the first song we recorded was Grind on Me. And it took us like 4 or 5 days to record it. Me and Baby Blue orchestrated the whole thing. Spec came in, and we figured the first part out. But Spec is like the dancer of the group, and he's responsible for the choreography and the things like that. And he's the kind of guy. He's like, when y'all done, I thought this is my idea, but after that, let me know when it's time for the dancing part, cause So me and Baby Blue, we kind of sat in there, and Slick, come do your verse, or Spec, come do this, and we actually figured it out. And that song 8 months later was the most requested song in the history of Power 96, and we got a record deal. So
is was selling dope what got you in juvie?
Stealing cars, like I say, just being around the wrong people, because my friends would do. I was young, so the older guys. Okay, let me break this down to you. So, my mother became a Jehovah's Witness after my father left her, and I didn't always agree with the rules that was given to me, because it's kind of hard. Like, okay, Jewish kids, right? They go to their own schools. They're, like, it's just a certain that they're around people that do the same thing as them. So for me, every day, it's like when I get home from school, I'm alienated to what I'm used to every day, right? So imagine me going to school with you right now, right? And then after school, I can't play with you. I can't talk to you. I can't. So I had a hard time really understanding how to deal with that at a young age and then still be a kid. And I rebelled. So I would run away from home and for months at a time.
Yeah.
And, stay with a different friend, and just, I grew up a little faster than the curve. So, yeah, and then if all you surrounded by is drug dealers and, people of that, that life, that's all I knew. So
Yeah.
my uncle, imagine asking imagine becoming famous and rich and asking, hey, I probably got some money, what should I do with it? And they say, invest in it. Or, I never had the right until now in my life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I want to come back to that because it just, when you were talking about just investing in your own career, you were one of the first R&B acts that I know of that was independent and did your thing on a massive, massive scale.
So, okay, so that taught me business and how it goes. So now you understand politics and you understand how it really works, because at a younger age, I was just doing it but didn't know that I was doing it. So here I am in this group, and we're successful, but I wasn't happy because we worked so much, so we didn't need money. So when you on the road for 2 years at a time, and the label pays for your food and hotel and this and that and that, you're not worried about anything. Your dream, like, you ain't even dreaming of your dreams. Like, you're just busy working because you got 4 shows a day, 4 flights a day, 4 cities a day, or 5, or it's just that kind of thing. So I pretty much put the work in, and then when I got home, we were kind of controlled to the sense of, you can't go nowhere, you can't, because you don't understand that you're of value at this point. So, and you don't even understand that everything has changed. I'm still being Marcus, so I'm gonna go back home and hang with the people that I came up with as Marcus, not Pleasure P. So the guy that was in control of us or over us that we looked up to, he understood that, but he abused his power. So one day I told him that I want to separate my money and I want to get my own crib and my own car, because I'll be on dates and stuff. Like, we all had our data, hold a Bentley, and I want my own Bentley. We done made all this money. I want to separate my money. So when that particular time came, that's when he showed his hand, and it was like, I own you. I was like, what?
So did he actually say that?
Yes. He said, you ain't doing nothing without me. And I was like, well, I just want to get my own crib and my own.
Independent.
Yeah, because we spend so much time together, the four of us, but I'm still my own person that grew up the way that I grew up. And I felt like at the time I had every right to I'm still going to be in the group, but I just want my own space, And I don't think I knew how to articulate that properly, but that's what I was trying to say. And he didn't see it that way. So he did what the average, guy do, and he flexed his power. And I didn't agree with it. So I flexed my power. Like, it's war. So, you know what? You ain't gonna tell me I got my own kid. You're not gonna talk to me like a kid. Or, you're not gonna tell me when I'm on a date that I gotta come home, you know what I'm saying, in
At
the
a
middle
certain
of my
time?
date. Or, I'm 21 years old at this point. You know what I'm saying? And we're only home for 4 days out the week. I'm not.
So was he saying that you needed to be home at a certain time? Was it still like you were
He would just do that because at the end it's like we couldn't go nowhere. Like, girls would chase us and things like that. We were really on that kind of wave. But if I want to go to a club, I'm a little older than the block. So if I want to go to a club with my friends or Jamaican party or whatever, oh, I heard you was here. They got to pay you for that. Oh, so now it's like that on me. And, I didn't really understand the business at the time. And he wasn't wrong in a certain sense. It's just his delivery and how he went about it was not right at the time.
yeah. So this is Blue, correct?
Yep, that's Baby Blue's father.
Okay. So
And Spectacular's father.
yeah. It's interesting. How did the money divvy up amongst y'all? Because I know
But I
some
never
of y'all
got
did different things.
we never got no money.
So you didn't get publishing.
No. We split everything equally, but he obviously, because he was the guy that was more successful. Before we had a deal, we was living in $1 million crib. Before we had a deal, he, had Benzes and the things that he had. So me coming from where I come from, my father ain't tell me this, or my mother couldn't tell me that, or nobody could look over my contract for me. Or so I looked up to him and I believed in him like a father figure too. So, whatever you want to do. And I signed that contract based on loyalty. And then when the time came, he used that against me. So when he used it against me, I had no choice but to hire my own lawyer, hire my own management. And after that, the days were numbered because he would try to play us against each other. And then, eventually I wasn't happy and I left.
So with that happening, it obviously caused a rift between your friendship, brotherhood with the remaining members.
Absolutely, because that's their father. So how do you hold them against their father? Like, he taught them to be everything that but it's hard to tell somebody that, yo, this is what I'm going through from, with your father. But I would tell them like, yo, I ain't leaving the group, but I just want my own place. Or I would, this is what's going on. And then he would tell them something differently, and it would be them against me. So I had to choose me, during that particular time.
So it almost and correct me if I'm wrong, it felt like you were almost pushed to a point where you needed to go solo at that point, just because of...
I never wanted to go solo. That was never my intentions. Like, my intentions was still to be a part of the group. And then he made it so uncomfortable for me while being there. And I was just like, you know what? I don't care if I work at McDonald's. I don't care.
Whatever. You need your peace.
You know what I'm saying? But I I mentioned solo to him because Young Jeezy at the time had a solo deal and he was in Boys in the Hood. So when he told me that I didn't have any money, I said, well, okay, it's cool. You know what? I don't know what you invested. I'm dumb and young. I don't know what you invested, but I ain't trying to get in there. And I'm thankful to this day for him putting his all into us and making me who I am today. Because if it wasn't for what he done, I wouldn't be here talking to you right now. So I always give him that. But still, what was done ain't right, you know. So, uh, you know, I go back to things like that, you know, and I forgive and I forgive and I forgive. But fact of the matter is, you know, he ain't do right by us.
It's real. If you had a do-over with Pretty Ricky, what would you change?
I wouldn't change nothing. I'm happy. And the lessons that I've learned and the man that I've become going through what I've come, like, my time is just starting now.
Yeah.
And when you're on God's time, hey, you got to learn the lessons and you got to learn the different pressures of being a leader. I had to go through the IRS for money that I never received.
So that money that he collected, essentially. Wow.
So when I actually did get some money, hey, you got back taxes for the stuff you signed off on that I never got, you know.
How did that make you feel at that time?
I didn't feel no kind of way because I was already going through what I went through. You know, I was already going through that tough time. So it was just like, oh, just added stress for what's already been done, you know. But I'm not sitting here being a victim about anything. It's just like whatever he had to deal with, he had to deal with. And I'm going to always do what I got to do to make sure I'm all right. So during that time, I put out mixtapes and I didn't care. I was like, I'll never put out an album. You know, like me and Plies got a record out. Me and Yo Gotti got a record out. Me and this person got a record out. Me and Lil Wayne wanted to sign me to Young Money, but I couldn't sign because I was tied up in a contract with him, you know. I co-wrote Lollipop with Static Major for Lil Wayne. I got a Grammy before my album even came out.
Man, what was that like?
People, you know.
Static Major.
Well, he worked on my whole. Well, he worked with Pretty Ricky and he worked on my whole album, but he died in the middle of my album. So recording the introduction to Marcus Cooper was very, very hard because we had the tail end of it, and he died in the middle of my album.
Man.
And it's just me, Tank, and Rico Love left to finish it out. That's tough.
Yeah. Wow.
But Static was, you know, that's my heart. Still to this day, that's my heart. I got him tattooed right here because he taught me a lot about publishing and he taught me a lot about groups. He taught me a lot about being humble. He taught me a lot about just looking at the bigger picture of things. He taught me a lot. And he told me all the stories about everything. I don't even repeat them, but some of y'all are very foul. You know, coming up, historical, some people are very foul, but I know a lot. I just don't say a lot, but I know a lot.
Yeah. I know that it seemed like Spectacular and Blue almost seemingly accused you of being somewhat like a diva in the group.
Nah, I never was that. I'm always the guy that make things work. You know, I make it work. I keep everybody together. But when it comes to certain things and certain times and people do certain things, it's just like, you know, I don't need my own space. So just to go to work, like that's like, look at these rock mans, right? Let's say you build McDonald's, okay? Pretty Ricky's a brand. We build McDonald's. I don't have to go to drink with my coworkers after work. I don't have to be in their space before work if I don't want to be. All I got to do is show up to work and do my job because that's what the fans want. That's what the people want. And some days it's like that based on what's been done, or just the energy or the space that you're in mentally. You might be in a serious mood one day, and somebody might want to joke all day. I'm just not in the mood for the laughter and the joking. So I'd rather be isolated so that I get my head in the game. And I think that's just what it's about. But I'm far from a diva. I'm actually the easiest person to deal with when it comes to being in the group. I'm actually the guy that keeps the group together. And yeah, like if something is not right for us, obviously I'm gonna stand on that. But outside of that, anybody that ever talk to you or you see, they're gonna say P is cool, P is humble, P is easy to deal with. Um, if I haven't been, it's because I'm fighting for some kind of respect or something ain't right with that person. But I ain't never been no diva.
Yeah. Respect, man.
I don't need all blue M&Ms. No, none of that. You'll never hear me talk about nothing like that. Yeah, I just came here today. I'm cool. Like,
yeah. I've always gotten that in our conversations, which has made things easy. But I know when you're going through things and when money's involved, it can highlight some things for some folks.
Well, I look at it like all of us was fucked over. Oh, sorry, I'm gonna cuss.
No, by all means.
All of us were messed over, right? So my job is to make sure we get back what we lost, So for me, that's how I think. I think on some team shit. No matter what you've done, no matter what, I forgive you. Let's move forward. And that's always been my standpoint. And I'm still stand on that to this day. Even though they father didn't do right, you never know what he was going through. You never, we gotta look at that man and say, okay, well, you never know. So guess what? I'm not here to judge. I'm just here to say that wasn't right. How can we make it right? Hopefully one day he make it right.
How much money did you get taken for?
I don't even want to disclose that amount. But I will say that he did, they father Blue, he did pave the way for us to be to where we at. So it's no price that's priceless.
Mm-hmm. Got you.
So but at the same time, hopefully one day he can make it right with us and make us understand, because we really, really looked up to him, and he was our leader. So, when your leader fail you, or you think you lose respect and things like that, but I still got love for him, and I just hope that one day, whatever he invested in, whatever the case, just come back and do the right thing. That's all.
Yeah. What's the hardest part about being a part of a group?
Us, we pretty much understand each other and things like that. It wasn't hard being in a group. We never argued like that. Like all of us, we vote on everything, and we never had no problems as a group. That the only problem that we ever had is their father.
Yeah.
And what he brought to the table when it came to, everything. But outside of that, it wasn't never no problem with us.
Yeah. How about the relationship between y'all now? What's that like?
Oh, we great. We about to go back on tour again soon. Baby Blue just got out of, his lockup situation. So we had to pump the brakes. We was already like Millennium Tour, about to headline and all this kind of stuff. But then he got into it with the PPP people. Somebody misled him and into taking some money or something crazy like that. And, so I had to hold it down, touring and keeping the brand going. But we about to get back together and, do what people want us to do.
That's what's up. You I guess when you went solo, you partnered with Bryant McKinney?
Yeah. So I started a label called Swagger Entertainment. And that's pretty much what helped me, man. Brian McKinney, shouts out to B-Mac. He man, he was like an angel to me because when it happened, I was like, yo, I want to start my label. But look, I need some money for this lawyer fee because I'm trying to get out of this situation. The next day, 70,000 in my account to pay the lawyer. And he was serious and he was a stand-up dude when it came to us starting our label. So I was really ahead of the game in my younger days. But my friends and my people, they kind of taught me, life lessons. You can't put everybody on. You can't take everybody with you. Yeah, I was ahead of my time with that.
Yeah, that's dope. What was one of the craziest encounters that you've had on tour, say with Pretty Ricky or yourself, just moving around, fans?
The craziest encounter. There were several. Like there were times we'll perform and all the girls would take over the arena. They would just bum rush the stage. That means you gotta run. Imagine running for your life behind these little curtains and you get to the dressing room door and it's locked. And you look this way and there's hundreds of girls running at you. All you can do is huddle up and just take the beating. And it's just like hands all over you, ripping out your earrings. Look at my earring hole right now. Like it's still
That
ripped.
came from that. Wow.
Rip your earrings out. They kissing you. They taking everything. That's like we would be like it's almost scary, at some point because, it's serious, and that would happen to us everywhere we go, all of America. Couldn't go to malls. We couldn't go to, certain places. Girls would lay down in front of our limousines and beat on the windows, and that was my first part of it. So when we actually came home and I got to be around my friends and stuff like that, I'll be so happy to do that because, you used to being around label people, security people. Even now, I'm a loner because I like to be, I don't like to be around a lot of people anymore. When I was young, I would walk around with an entourage of people. Then, when you get older, you kind of watch that.
You evolve.
Yeah, exactly.
When you go home, what was that like with the expectations that people had or saw with you having so much fame and popularity and, the assumptions of your money?
They expected me to be rich, and I thought I was. I was like, yo, I live in this big house. I got, I'm pulling up in the Bentley. My money in the bank, so I'm good. I don't need that. So you ask for your money, and then he says to you, you don't got no money. You're like, what do you mean? And he sends you an itemized list, right? When the lawyers get involved, of the fork you used in my house, the spoons, the cups. I charge you for every single thing that you used. The blanket.
This is blue?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I'm like, I ain't asked to stay in your house. You asked me to stay here so that we can record and you ain't got to look for me when it's time. I was great where I was at. So that was like when I was young, like that was the thing.
Light bulb moment.
Yeah, it's like, nah, this ain't right.
I know you spoke about writing on Lollipop. What other songs have you had a hand in that people don't know about?
Quite a few, but the biggest are the Diamonds. The Diamonds are Lollipop. The Diamonds is FloRida Wild Ones. You know that song?
Yeah.
Hey, I heard you were a wild one. Ooh.
So you wrote on that?
Yeah.
Okay. I know you were on with FloRida as well. On one, you had a guest appearance on one of those songs too, right?
I mean, Flo is my brother. We came up together. I mean, when I was doing those demos, I recorded in a studio called Underground Studios, and shouts out to DJ Vitamo, for molding me as an artist because I would go in his studio and record with Ludus Charles off of Cakewalk Pro Audio 9. You know, like back. You know what cakewalk is? That's like that was then, and yeah, it kind of like just there was no auto tune. There was no. If you don't get the note right, you gotta do it over and over and over and over and over. You know, and going through that, and then after that, going through Troy Taylor, okay, and then Static Major at the same time. Oh man, listen, I can record a song in 12 minutes now. 12.
Yeah.
A whole song with harmonies and backgrounds and the whole nine because of going through that. But yeah, I met Flo during that process. He was in a group called the Groundhogs, and we connected then, and then after that I went on to do Pretty Ricky, and then our second album we went to do records with Devontae Swing from Jodeci. So we flew out to LA. Shouts out to my boy LB for lining it up. We flew out to LA to do records with Devontae, and then guess who I run into?
Who?
FloRida. He's signed to Devontae at this point in time now, right?
Really?
Second album, he's signed to Devontae. And, you know, we running like, where you been? Like, I ain't seen you since Vitamin days, you know? And then right after that, 8 months later, Low comes out. And now he's at Atlantic with me. So that's just been my brother since, like, we came up together. Like, that's
watching
like,
each other's success.
That's one of my best friends to this day. Yeah. I could talk to him about anything. Like, that's my brother.
Yeah. That's a wonderful thing, man.
Yeah.
When Blue was in prison, did y'all communicate? Did you see him? Okay.
No, we didn't get to like go visit him because of the COVID and all this stuff and whatever. But we definitely communicated with him and sent him, you know, money and made sure he was in good spirits and picked him up from jail when he got out and, you know, that whole thing. So we was definitely with him and we still with him.
Yeah, that's what's up. Let's talk about Love and Hip Hop Miami and you kind of just jumping out there on that, man. Like, what made you decide to become a part of the cast? How'd you get on the show?
Well, my manager at the time, Julian, shouts out to Jew Boy, presented me this opportunity. And Marty Lopez, shouts out to Marty, gave me the opportunity to audition. And for me, it was like, I never did reality TV before, so who can I get to really, you know, do this thing with me? My group, you know. And we did it for 2 seasons, I believe. And after the fact, for me, I just felt like I wasn't being seen in the light that I should be seen in. Like, they made me a cheater, and I'm not a cheater. Like, no, I don't want to be a cheater, bro. Like, why would you make that out to be? Like, don't tell me one day we're shooting this, and then 3 weeks later we're shooting that, and then by the time you air it, it looks like everything that goes against my brand and what I built with my fans. Like, you know, I want to be a fuckboy to the females, you know what I'm saying? So it just didn't represent me in the right light. And it wasn't worth it money-wise, so I quit.
Were you dating Shay before or, you know, just during that time? What was that like? And I know she said, well, it seemed like you were the father or something like that.
Nah, man.
Was that all just...
Nah, let's not even go there. You know, Shay is a good friend of mine, and I know her for years, and she really helped me be comfortable in the reality TV world.
Keep it positive. Now, I know after that with Shay, with Joy Young, Is that another love interest or?
That and, Joy is fine. By the way, I love Joy, but she's a good person. But that's Trick Daddy. People. I don't know how they kind of link me to Joy, but Joy is like a friend of mine. I don't
Gotcha.
know. You know what I'm saying?
Understood. So it seems like you may not really want to do reality television again if it's not uh,
Oh, we
lining up
doing
the
we
right.
doing something new on the Tronics Network.
Okay.
With Ray J. So
You have more
we
influence
we
on how
doing
you.
yeah. I have more influence on how I want to be perceived, and I think that's very important for anybody with a brand.
Okay. Got you. There was a headline that said something along the lines that grind with me saves you from going to prison. Is that true?
Yeah, I explained that to you. I explained the story.
Oh, and
Remember
just it's saying when you for your first.
the day that I went to record Ground on Me.
Got it. Got it. That you
My
your
my
boy.
homeboy. Yeah, exactly.
Understood. Okay. No. Just kind of hearing you kind of retell certain aspects of your life and some of the things that may have been reported, in person, very different than how maybe sometimes things are perceived. Do you ever read the headlines and you're like, what the hell?
Sometimes I do, and then sometimes it's like sometimes the truth goes farther than you know the lie, and these are tactics. Look at what people go through. People say a lot of things about people when when you're in position or when you're in power. First thing they're gonna say is you gay. Then the second thing they're gonna do everything to try to beat you down and get you down or make people not see you in the light that they should see you, the light that you work hard to obtain. That's just what
Yeah.
comes with the territory.
Yeah.
That's a part of going to war. That's what they do. Whether it's a presidential campaign, what do and it's crazy, but it's like look what the presidents do to each other. Oh, let me catch you in this can. Let me make up some. Let me, and it's no different. Or if you're doing business, oh, this person down the street, let me say they got rats in their. It comes with the territory. No matter what we do.
When you look at what's in the headlines now, man, I know obviously Diddy is going through a lot. They raided his home in your city. I mean, when you sit back and look at those things, what comes to mind for you?
What comes to mind to me when it comes to things like that is like everybody got something to say, but they don't know the facts. So how could you speak on somebody else's situation if you don't know the facts? And why is that such a big thing for you? And then why do you make jokes about seeing somebody go through something and you don't know the facts? And then, you know, for people who are church going people, where does the forgiveness come in? Even if he did go down that path. But what if he didn't? And what if somebody that, you know, he got money from or somebody he was in business with, what if it was just like the presidential campaign? They just trying to smear his name. That's what comes with the territory. That's what people do. When you fighting, and if you learn the art of war, this is what they do. This is what comes with it. If you had a business, they'll set your business on fire. This been going on since how long? Okay, Lake Lanier is what under the water because because people doing business that's of color. Okay, look at Kansas City. What happened there? Black Wall Street.
Tulsa.
Tulsa. Sorry, Black Wall Street. It's the same thing. And the crazy thing about us is there is no law within how we do business as blacks, but Jewish people have law. You know why is that?
Yeah, we are finding ourselves every day. And I think through the music, hip hop, You know, we watch a lot of things. A lot of people grow up in front of our eyes.
Well, for me, I watch the same thing happen. I watch a little black boy from the hood get a little money. They make him famous, or in his head, it's like mental health all over again every time, right? And then, the lawyers, they know what they're doing. Everybody know what their job is. And it's like a hamster in a cage almost. And, you make it out. Some people do, some people don't. And it just goes all over again. And then let's look at it from this way. Let's say you got this podcast and you and this person is partners, and then they come in between you guys and divide and conquer. They say this about you. They say that about this person. The next thing you know, because y'all not communicating with each other, they end up owning your whole shit. And it happens over and over and over. Every musical group that come in the game, it happens. It's just a repeating cycle of the same shit. Because there's no law.
Yeah.
I've been reading like books on the Jewish law and the Talmud and different things like that now. And I'm learning. I'm really starting to study and understand why. But we have no law within our community to where there's any structure. So it's gonna continuously be the same dog eat dog mentality or the same thing because of that. And we just watch it, and then one man fall, oh, it's a big joke of it, okay, and then the next man go, and it's the same thing over and over. But their community don't do that. Their kids don't have to be on TV dancing and singing their hearts out.
Yeah. I know you you mentioned not just being all over social media. You know, you keep some things obviously private for you. Do you think you'd ever get married?
Maybe one day. Maybe one day I'll get married. Maybe one day I won't. I don't know. Like the day, if it don't feel like 90s R&B, I don't want it anymore. You know what I'm saying? Like every woman now is follower. Like they followers. They follow what they see on social media. They not authentic no more. They don't think for themselves no more. They think like a robot.
You think women are just following other women online?
Yeah. I look at who they follow and I be like, shit. I be like, yo, this is crazy. Because I've been there. I don't say a lot, but I know a lot. And when I be seeing, like, imagine me meeting a girl and I'm like, okay, so who's your biggest inspiration? And you be like, oh, this person. I'm like, that's your biggest inspiration? But I seen her at the parties. I seen her get ran through. I seen her, and not saying that, you know what? She made her sacrifice, but she doing business now. But is that right for you to, it's like all of the women that are accomplished and actually did put in the work, they look up to the hoes. They don't look up to themselves anymore. They want to be the hoes now. Like, since when did that become cool? They don't want to be. We want to glorify y'all. We want to champion y'all. We want to lead y'all. We want to do so much for y'all and take our hats off to y'all. But look at what y'all following now. So now that you want to be this, how can I ever get what I want?
Do you think the expectations that women have of men in 2024 in the sense of what do you bring to the table? I'm the table. You talk about 90s R&B. What do you think when you hear all of that? A
partnership is a partnership. If she cleaning, I'm cooking. If she gotta cook, I'm washing the dishes. It's just that simple. If I got it, she got it. If she got it, I got it. Like, you know what I mean? And no, I'm not expecting her to, provide. No. But if you can do something to help me and help us, then bring that to the table. Just that simple.
Yeah. What did you think when you saw what went down with Will Smith and Chris Rock?
I don't know. I don't really understand Hollywood shit like that. Cause I mean, I don't know. I don't really understand that. You know, like for me,
I mean,
if I'm gonna slap somebody, I'm gonna slap them on sight for sure. So I don't, I'm not mad at Will for doing that. But at the same time, it's like it goes back to what I was just saying. Like, why do we got to talk about each other's wives, and why do we got to be the people that bring each other down, and why are we the laughing stock of each other? In that sense, why do we do that to each other?
Yeah.
Why? Like I really don't understand that.
Mm.
Why is that a big thing? You know what I mean? Like to see somebody that's evil. That's you know. But other cultures, they okay, you know what? This person is sick, or this person need mental health, or this, you know, they look at it from that standpoint. But why? Why are we so evil?
Yeah.
Why do we want to see the next person fall so badly? Why? And that's one thing I like about Atlanta. Uh, Atlanta people stick together. If you have a dream, you can accomplish it. There's so many people willing to work with you and help you accomplish the things you want to accomplish. I mean, I've been in a place where it's no, 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 and you know, you only can do this. And you know, I like that here. I like that about here. I like that about the people that do music here, Jermaine Dupri and Sean Garrett and Brian Michael Cox, and you know, just the community here for just music, people, and even the mayor, and the opportunities that he, you know, that he gives the city and everything, you know, just everything about it.
Yeah. I know they giving me the signal. I gotta ask you this on the way out, P, and I know we gotta have you come back because I know there's a lot you can unpack.
Okay.
But 3 things you look for in a woman.
I look for the 3 things I look for in a woman. Dang, you know, normally I'll be like, I can't tell you this because you can't give everybody the cheat codes to the test. You know, like if I told you this, then you can just act like, hey, I'm this, and then you'll get me. And then 9 months later, the real you gonna come out, and then you know, it's pointless, right? So, but what I will say, she gotta have her own. She can't be selfish, and I like peace. So I'm gonna just give those 3.
Bruh. Real zen with it, P.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you, brother. You know?
Thank you.
Thank you. Let's real quick, man. We like to break bread with our guests, and I know it's been so much going on. So, and I know you from the islands. Can we get you to take a look and see? You know what I'm
All right,
saying?
let's
If
see
you
what
can
you got
sample
here.
this, yeah.
Okay.
All right, this is a little West African.
Okay.
Okay, so we got some agusi with chicken and beef. We got your
Agusi.
little.
Tell me about agusi. What is that?
Man, it's spinach, the goosey seeds. You know, it's curry. It's real flavorful. I think you'll appreciate it.
Where's it from?
Well, you know, Ghana, Nigeria, Togo, West African countries,
Okay.
primarily. Then it's a little jollof rice there, and you know, you got some beef suya. You know.
Okay, suya. I know what suya is.
You know about that?
Yeah.
All right.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, shout out to Nouveau Marquis, man. That's fufu there, by the way.
Fufu.
Mm-hmm.
What is this made out of, like dough?
Pounded yam. You know, it can be made out of plantain.
Okay.
And you got some actual plantains there too, so.
Got the plantains. Got the suya with the. Oh my God! I'm in heaven over here, man.
Yeah, shout out to Fabiola, man, for our partners here. They like to make sure that we bring real culture to the table, man.
That's really good.
You enjoy that?
Thank you.
Good, man. Good. Hey, brother P, man, thank you so much for your insight. You know what I'm saying? Your spirit, just being yourself. We look forward to just having you come back and just chopping it up, man.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Follow me on all my socials. I got Suya here, but hopefully y'all can hear me. I'm at Pleasure P on every platform. Look out for my new music. Look out for the new Pretty Ricky tour. Look out for the new R.S.V.P album. When I say R.S.V.P, that's me, Ray J, Sammie, and Bobby V. We have a group album that we're dropping, and we're doing tours too. So just get ready for everything we got coming this year. And thank you.
That's what it is, man. Pleasure P came by to kick it, man, right here on the Culture Club Uncensored, man. So we look forward to having them back, and we're going to see you next time.